All right, we're going to be learning about some different shading techniques today, and you're going to need the ebony pencil that was in the kit for those of you who came to pick up your supplies. Those of you who did not come to pick up your supplies and you would like to pick up this shading pencil because you're going to need it for the next 2 weeks, I have some that you can still pick up, but you're going to need to make arrangements with me. If you don't have a shading pencil, that's okay. You can use a number 2 pencil, so just your regular number 2 pencil, not a mechanical pencil, okay? A wooden pencil. If all you have is a mechanical pencil, then use what you have. All right, my sketchbook is turned sideways just for the purposes of demonstrating because you're able to see more than when I turn it vertically. So you should draw this stuff in your book with your book going up and down. I'm just doing it this way for filming. All right, so the first shading technique that we want to talk about, well, actually, I guess first we should talk about is we hold our pencil a little bit further back. We don't want to hold it tight. We want to hold it further back, and we want to go all the same direction. And I'm just going to make my lines diagonal. You could also make your lines up and down. I find it easier to kind of tilt my pencil a little bit, whatever's comfortable for you. And we want to start with coloring. Basically, it's like coloring. It's like really, really pretty coloring. So we want to go over and over the same spot, and then we want to gradually pull away from that spot, and we want to get lighter and lighter and lighter with the way that we're holding the pencil, and get softer and softer until our paper isn't touching, or until our pencil is not touching the paper anymore. So it gradually changes from dark to light. Okay, and you can't see any specific marks because they are blended. All right, be sure to press pause as you need to as we go along through this video. All right, our next technique is called hatching. And these are just thin, parallel lines. So I'm going to keep going the same direction. We want to start with with blending, I like to start in the darkest spot and work my way to lighter. With hatching, I usually like to start with the lighter end and then work my way to the darker end. So with hatching, I'm going to hold my pencil very lightly, and I'm going to spread my marks out. And as I want to get the marks to look darker, I'm going to press harder, and then I'm going to start bringing them closer together. And I'm making a mark every single time with my pencil, individual marks. And they may end up blending together, but I'm not scribbling, okay? It's a separate kind of mark. At each individual time I pick my hand up, I'm making a new mark, and these all go the same direction. As I get to where it should be lighter, I hold my pencil lighter and spread the marks further out. All right, our third technique is very similar to the last one, but it is called cross hatching. And cross-hatching is lines that cross one another. Okay, so it's kind of like hatching in that the lines all are parallel, and then they go from dark to light. And the darker lines are going to be closer together. The lighter lines are going to start getting further apart, and you're going to hold your pencil lighter. Okay, so that's hatching. Cross hatching is we're going to now go in opposite direction. Okay, lines that cross each other. Okay, so I want to make sure where it's dark, they are more concentrated, and where it should be light, you're holding your pencil softer, and the marks are more spread out. All right, this next one is a fun one. This is called Scribbling. And this is a continuous looping line. Okay, and I'm going to start in the darker part and then work my way to where it is lighter. And this is just kind of looping, going back on itself. Yeah. And then I want to get lighter and lighter as I get to the end of that. And then I want to come back and start over. And then make sure I'm getting lighter as I work my way across. All right, and then the last one is called Stippling. Most students always like this one. This is a pattern of tiny dots. Make sure you're writing down the word and the definition and the example. All right, so for our little tiny dots, we're going to start in the darker part, concentrating those dots, and as we move across, we want to hold our pencils softer and lighter and spread those dots out. You want to keep your pencil really close to the paper. It really shouldn't be making any noise. And then don't forget to spread those dots out down the paper. This one takes a really long time. I don't personally like doing this. One time in college I had to do, at art school, I had to draw a portrait of myself with these little tiny dots. But it wasn't just a regular portrait, it was a portrait of myself being reflected in a big giant spoon. And so I've never cared for stippling ever since. All right, so it should go from dark to light with our tiny dots.